Buckle up because the drama in the Champions League is reaching a boiling point. Sporting captain Morten Hjulmand is firing back at Arsenal after their intense stalemate, calling out the Gunners for their stalling tactics and what he labeled as a boring performance. Was it a masterclass in game management or just a frustrating night of lost rhythm? We are breaking down every angle of this heated post-match clash.
Never run out of battery again with the INIU portable charger, the slimmest 10,000 milliamp hour power bank that keeps your devices charged on the go. Stay powered up wherever you go. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
But the Arsenal headlines do not stop on the pitch. We have massive news coming out of the transfer market involving Newcastle United star Anthony Gordon. Reports indicate the winger is looking for a way out of St. James Park this summer, and the Gunners are already high on the list of potential suitors. Could this be the marquee signing that takes their squad to the next level? We are also taking a trip down memory lane to celebrate a classic moment in football history. On this day, the West Ham United faithful roared back into action to hold Arsenal in a historic encounter that still gets talked about today. We are revisiting the highlights and the grit it took for the Hammers to secure that result against a massive opponent. Finally, the verdict is in regarding Arsenal and their latest European adventure. While the club has officially made history, experts are calling them far from convincing on the road to the semi-finals. Can they sharpen up before the next round? If you want to stay ahead of all the action and get the latest updates as they happen, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell right now. Is Arsenal's path to the Champions League semi-finals a masterclass in tactical discipline, or just plain boring football? After a tense 0-0 stalemate at the Emirates, Sporting Lisbon's captain Morten Hjulmand didn't hold back, labeling the Gunners' approach as frustratingly slow and rhythm-breaking. You have to wonder, when does professional game management cross the line into becoming an obstacle to the beautiful game itself? Arsenal might have secured a historic return to the semi-finals, marking the first time they've done so in back-to-back years, but the optics are clearly drawing fire. Hjulmand specifically pointed to the constant stoppages during set pieces, which he believes completely killed the momentum Sporting needed to overturn that narrow first-leg deficit. It's a classic European clash of styles. Sporting wanted a high-octane, fluid encounter, while Arsenal leaned into the grind-it-out mentality that wins trophies but often tests the patience of neutral fans. Even Sporting's coach, Rui Borges, felt his team was robbed of a well-deserved result, praising his players' character in the face of what felt like a defensive wall. It's easy to dismiss these comments as sour grapes, but when you look at the stats and the lack of rhythm, it raises a real question about whether teams are being too rewarded for killing the clock rather than chasing the ball. So, what's your take? Is this the ruthless efficiency needed to conquer Europe, or is it a sign that we need to change how we handle dead ball situations? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, hit that like button if you want more deep dives into the tactical drama of the Champions League, and don't forget to subscribe. After all, football is meant to be a show, but at the elite level, the only thing that truly seems to make the highlight reel is the scoreline, regardless of how we get there. Could the next big piece of the Arsenal puzzle be about to arrive from St. James Park? If you've been paying attention to the rumors, you know Arsenal's interest in Anthony Gordon isn't just a fleeting thought. It's been a recurring topic in their recruitment meetings for quite some time. Now, the plot has officially thickened. Reports are emerging that the Newcastle star is starting to feel like it's time for a new challenge, and he's reportedly keen to explore his options this summer. Now, to be clear, Gordon hasn't officially handed in a transfer request, but the vibe around Newcastle suggests a departure is becoming increasingly likely. Why the shift? It's simple: ambition. Gordon wants Champions League football, and with Newcastle currently languishing in 14th place and looking miles away from European contention, his desire to move isn't just understandable, it's professional. But here is the catch: Newcastle isn't going to let their prized asset walk away for pennies. If Arsenal really wants him, they are likely looking at an eye-watering price tag of over £80 million. That is a massive investment, but consider the player you're getting. Since his move from Everton, he's evolved into a consistent, high-impact winger who has already proven he can deliver under the bright lights of a cup final. Of course, Arsenal won't have a free run at him. Bayern Munich is lurking, and Liverpool, who nearly signed him last year, might just jump back into the mix. The race is officially on, and the upcoming window promises to be a wild one. If you're an Arsenal fan, does Gordon fit the bill, or is that £80 million fee just too steep for your liking? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe for the latest transfer updates. After all, in the world of Premier League football, the only thing more exciting than the game itself is the game happening behind the scenes. Ever felt like a game was completely slipping away, only for the heart of your team to suddenly ignite? That is exactly the magic we saw on this day in West Ham history. It was a classic clash against Arsenal, a fixture that always carries a little extra grit, and the Gunners had firmly taken the wheel early on. You could almost feel the momentum swinging heavily in their favor, the kind of afternoon where fans start looking at their watches and wondering if it is just one of those days. But that is the thing about West Ham, they rarely go down without a proper fight. Just when the narrative seemed set in stone, the Hammers roared back with an intensity that took everyone, including the Arsenal defense, by complete surprise. It wasn't just about the goals, it was about the shift in spirit, the refusal to accept a defeat that looked inevitable only minutes before. It reminds us why we love this game, the unpredictability and that unbreakable connection between the players on the pitch and the roar of the crowd. Seeing them claw their way back to hold Arsenal is a testament to the grit that defines this club. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the moments that defined our history. After all, a match might end in 90 minutes, but the spirit of a comeback, that lasts forever. History was made, but if you were watching, you probably didn't feel like you were witnessing a masterpiece. Arsenal has officially etched their name into the record books, yet the performance left everyone scratching their heads. It is one thing to grind out a result when the stakes are at their absolute peak, but there is a fine line between championship grit and sheer inconsistency. The Gunners are dancing on that razor's edge, and honestly, it is starting to look less like a title charge and more like a high-wire act without a safety net. Sure, the numbers say they got the job done, but the eye test tells a much more fractured story. For a team with these kinds of ambitions, you simply cannot afford to look this shaky when the pressure is dialed up to 11. You have to ask yourself, are they really building a legacy here, or are they just lucky that their rivals are stumbling alongside them? There is talent in that squad, no doubt, but the cohesion is missing in critical moments. It feels like they are relying on individual flashes of brilliance rather than a unified identity. We want to hear from you, the fans. Does this win prove they have what it takes to go all the way, or are you worried this is the beginning of a late-season collapse? Drop a comment below with your take, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to keep up with all our match analysis. At the end of the day, history remembers the scoreline, but supporters remember how the team made them feel, and right now, Arsenal is making everyone feel very, very nervous.